I never thought I'd be eating alone in my own kitchen on my 60th birthday, listening to the sounds of laughter and clinking glasses drift in from the dining room. But here I am, pushing around a plate of cold chicken parmesan that Vanessa thoughtfully set aside for me. My name is Amber, and until today, I thought I was doing everything right as a mother. The house they're dining in, the one I'm currently banished from, I bought it 15 years ago with my teaching salary and the life insurance money after my husband passed. It was supposed to be my retirement nest egg, maybe even a legacy for my son Randall someday. "Mum, you understand, right?" Randall had said earlier, his hand on my shoulder steering me toward the kitchen. "These are important clients of Vanessa's. We need to make the right impression." "Of course," I'd replied, my voice steady despite the burning in my chest. "I'll just eat in here." "Perfect." He'd squeezed my shoulder, already turning away. "We'll do something special for your birthday next weekend, okay?" Now I can hear Vanessa's practiced laugh floating through the walls. "Oh, you simply must try the wine. We discovered this little vineyard in Napa Valley." I set my fork down, remembering the day Randall and Vanessa first moved in. They'd just gotten married, struggling with rent in the city. "Mum, it would only be for a year or two," Randall had promised, "just until we get on our feet." That was 5 years ago. The doorbell rings, and I hear more excited greetings. Another couple arriving fashionably late, no doubt. I stand up to rinse my barely touched plate, trying not to remember last year's birthday, when we all squeezed around this very table, Randall telling jokes while Vanessa actually smiled at me. My phone buzzes. It's my sister Isla, who I haven't spoken to in 3 years after a falling out over Mum's inheritance. "Happy birthday, big sister," her text reads. "Hope they're treating you like a queen." I almost laugh out loud at the irony. And then his mother, bless her heart, tried to redecorate our living room. Vanessa's voice carries clearly now. "I mean, can you imagine?" More laughter. My hands shake as I dry the plate. "It's like they never quite know when to step back, do they?" A stranger's voice responds. "My mother-in-law's the same way." Exactly. They mean well, but boundaries are boundaries. I close my eyes, remembering the redecorating incident. I'd brought over a handmade quilt, thinking it might brighten up their sofa. Vanessa had smiled tightly and tucked it away in a closet. I never saw it again. The sound of cork popping. More cheers. "A toast!" Randall's voice. "To new friendships and successful partnerships." I slip out of the kitchen and up the back stairs to the guest room, my room, when I occasionally stay over. My purse is on the bed where I left it. Inside is a folder containing the property deed, which I'd brought over to discuss with Randall. I'd wanted to talk about maybe moving in, now that I'm retiring, maybe becoming more involved in their lives again. Pulling out the deed, I study it in the dim light. My name alone is on the paper. I never added Randall, always meaning to do it someday. The house is mine, free and clear. Yet somehow I've become the guest, the intruder, the inconvenient mother who needs to be hidden away. My phone buzzes again. Isla. "Seriously, how are you? I've been thinking about you lately." Below stairs, someone starts playing music. The bass thuds through the floorboards as I sink onto the bed, the deed crackling in my grip. 5 years of watching Vanessa gradually take over, of Randall's subtle dismissals becoming not so subtle. 5 years of being slowly erased from my own property. I reach for my phone, but instead of responding to Isla, I scroll to another contact. Lucia, my old friend from college who practices real estate law. My finger hovers over her number as more laughter floats up from below. "They think I'm irrelevant," I whisper to the empty room. "They think I'm just going to fade away." The deed feels heavy in my hands. The music gets louder, and I can picture them all down there, drinking my son's wine in my dining room, sharing jokes about overbearing mothers who don't know their place. Before I can second-guess myself, I press the call button. It rings twice before Lucia answers. "Amber, happy birthday. Is everything okay?" I take a deep breath, my eyes fixed on the deed. "Lucia, I need to ask you something about selling a house." "Let me get this straight," Lucia says, spreading the deed across her desk the next morning. "They've been living there rent-free for 5 years, and now they're treating you like an unwanted house guest?" I shift in my chair, remembering the first time Vanessa started suggesting I call before visiting. It happened so gradually I almost didn't notice. Almost? Lucia raises an eyebrow. There were signs. I twist my wedding ring, thinking back. Last Christmas, Randall told me they needed space to establish their own holiday traditions. Then Vanessa started redecorating, taking down all the family photos. And you just let them. What was I supposed to do? Every time I objected, Randall would say I was being too emotional, too involved. I lean forward. But yesterday, eating alone in that kitchen, something just broke. Lucia studies the deed carefully. Amber, this property is completely in your name. No co-owners, no liens, nothing. You can do whatever you want with it. Really? My heart speeds up. Really? She looks up. But before we discuss selling, I need you to be sure. Have you tried talking to Randall? As if on cue, my phone buzzes. A text from my son. Mum, Vanessa's upset about you leaving without saying goodbye last night. Maybe give her some space for a few days. I show Lucia the message. Her lips tighten. Give me a minute, I say, dialing Randall's number. He answers on the fourth ring. Mum, I'm kind of busy. I know, honey. I just wanted to talk about the house. A pause. What about it? I'm retiring next month. I was thinking maybe I could move in. The place is big enough for... Move in? He cuts me off. Mum, we've talked about this. Vanessa and I need our own space. You can't just... I mean, what would people think? People? My voice cracks. I'm your mother, Randall. Exactly. You're my mother, not my roommate. Look, I have to go. We'll talk about this later, okay? The line goes dead. I look at Lucia, who's been watching with growing concern. Well, I say quietly, I tried. She pulls out a fresh legal pad. Let me tell you your options. The market's hot right now. With a property like yours, we could have it sold within weeks. Weeks? I picture Vanessa planning her next dinner party, Randall dismissing me with another pat on the shoulder. How fast could we do it? If we find a cash buyer? Days. Lucia starts writing. But Amber, once this starts, there's no going back. Your relationship with Randall was gone the moment he sent me to eat in the kitchen. I straighten in my chair. What do we do first? Just then, my phone buzzes again. A text from Vanessa. While you're giving us space, please don't drop by unannounced. We're hosting a garden party next weekend and need time to prepare. I show Lucia the message. Her eyebrows shoot up. A garden party? In your garden? Apparently. Without inviting you? Obviously. I feel something hardening inside me. They probably don't want me embarrassing them in front of their important friends again. Lucia sets down her pen. I have a client, Manuel. He's looking for exactly this type of property. Cash buyer, quick close. Want me to make a call? I think about all the times I've swallowed my hurt, made excuses for their behaviour, told myself it was just a phase. I think about sitting alone in that kitchen, listening to strangers mock mothers like me. Make the call. She reaches for her phone, then pauses. You know they'll never forgive you for this. I look down at Vanessa's text again, at the casual dismissal of my existence. Maybe, but I'll never forgive myself if I don't do it. Lucia nods and starts dialing. As she waits for an answer, she slides a piece of paper across her desk. It's a listing agreement, ready for my signature. Manuel? It's Lucia. Remember that property we discussed? I think I found exactly what you're looking for. She winks at me. How quickly can you move? I pick up her pen, its weight feeling like destiny in my hand. Through the office window, I can see spring flowers blooming in the courtyard, bright and defiant against the morning sky. Somewhere across town, my son and his wife are planning their garden party, secure in their borrowed kingdom. I sign my name with steady fingers, knowing that sometimes the only way to heal a wound is to first tear it wide open. I find myself parked outside Isla's house, questioning my decisions. 3 years of silence stretch between us, but somehow she's the only person I want to talk to right now. Before I can change my mind, I walk up to her door and knock. She opens it, looking exactly the same, yet completely different. Amber? Her eyes widen. I wasn't expecting... I got your birthday text, I say. Can we talk? 10 minutes later, we're sitting on her porch swing, coffee mugs in hand. The familiar creaking of the chains takes me back to childhood summers. So, let me make sure I understand, Isla says, after I finish explaining. You're selling the house out from under them? Without warning? I tried warning them. This morning I stopped by to talk to Randall. And I take a sip of coffee. He was too busy to discuss it. But he had time to lecture me about boundaries when I suggested moving in. Moving in? Isla sets down her mug. Is that what you want? I don't know what I want anymore. The swing creaks as I push against the floor. Yesterday, I was eating alone in my own kitchen. Today, I'm signing papers to sell my house. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind. No, Isla says firmly. You're finding it. A delivery truck rumbles past, and we both watch it disappear around the corner. The silence feels different now, less heavy than the 3-year gap that came before. Remember when Mom died? Isla asks suddenly. And we fought over that stupid antique table? I nod. It was the fight that broke us. Me insisting she take it, her accusing me of trying to control everything. Both of us saying things we couldn't take back. You know what I realized? She turns to face me. You weren't trying to control anything. You were trying to give everything away, just like you're doing with Randall. That's different. Is it? Amber, you're not their mother anymore. You're their housemaid and they locked you out. The words hit hard, mostly because they're true. My phone buzzes. Another text from Vanessa. The gardener's coming Thursday. Please don't interfere with his work this time. I show Isla the message. She reads it and makes a disgusted sound. This time? She asks. I suggested he trim the rose bushes differently. Apparently I overstepped. Your rose bushes? Not anymore. I take my phone back. Manuel's viewing the house tomorrow. The buyer? Isla leans forward. What's he like? Lucia says he's fair but firm. He knows what he wants. I manage a small smile. And what he wants is immediate possession. Good. Isla picks up her coffee again. But are you ready for this? Really ready? Because once you do this, I know. I stand up, walking to the porch railing. But you should see how they live there, Isla. Like they own the place. Like I'm just some sad old woman who doesn't know when to let go. Then maybe it's time to show them exactly who you are. My phone buzzes again. This time it's Lucia. Manuel loves the photos. He's bringing a cashier's check tomorrow. Are you sure about this? Isla reads over my shoulder. Are you? I think about Randall's dismissive tone this morning, about Vanessa's carefully worded texts, about all the times I've swallowed my pride and smiled through their subtle humiliations. Yes, I type back to Lucia. I'm sure. Isla touches my arm. Stay for dinner? We can catch up properly. I look at my sister, the one I lost over an antique table, the one who somehow understands exactly what I'm going through. I'd like that. As we head inside, my phone buzzes one last time. Randall. Mum, about this morning. I know you're probably upset, but you have to understand. We have a certain lifestyle now. Maybe we can discuss appropriate boundaries over coffee next week. Isla reads the message and raises an eyebrow. Appropriate boundaries. I put the phone away without responding. He'll learn about boundaries soon enough. That's my sister. Isla holds open the door. Now, want to help me make Mum's lasagna recipe? The one she wrote down on that little card you gave me? For the first time in days, I feel myself truly smile. Only if we do it wrong, just like we used to. As we head to her kitchen, where I know I'll be welcome at the table, I realize that sometimes you have to lose something to remember what you're worth. And sometimes, the people you think are gone forever are exactly the ones you need to find your way back to yourself. Manuel walks through the house like a man who knows exactly what he wants. He tests faucets, checks window seals, and nods approvingly at the hardwood floors. I trail behind him with Lucia, watching him evaluate my life's investment with business-like efficiency. The kitchen's been updated recently, he notes, running a hand along the granite countertop, the one Vanessa insisted they needed 2 years ago. Yes, I say. My son and his wife renovated it. He turns, eyebrows raised. They live here. Lucia steps in smoothly. Currently, yes. But as discussed, the property will be delivered vacant. Ah. He glances between us. Family situation? Before I can answer, The front door opens. Vanessa's voice carries through the house. "Hello? Is someone here?" Manuel looks questioningly at Lucia, who gives me a subtle nod. This was bound to happen eventually. Vanessa appears in the kitchen doorway, designer shopping bags in hand. She freezes when she sees us. "Amber? What's going on?" "Just showing the house," I say calmly. She laughs, but it sounds forced. "Showing the... What do you mean, showing the house?" "Mrs. Walker," Manuel begins. "Actually," Lucia interrupts, "it's just Ms. Walker, and she's the sole owner of the property." Vanessa's perfectly maintained smile slips. "I need to call Randall." "That's probably a good idea," I say. She retreats to the living room, shopping bags forgotten on the floor. I hear her urgent whispers. "Come home now. I don't know what's happening. There's some man looking at the house." Manuel clears his throat. "Perhaps we should continue this another time." "No need," Lucia says. "You've seen the important parts. Shall we discuss the offer?" We move to the dining room, the same room I was barred from on my birthday. Manuel pulls out a chair, then pauses. "Are you sure you want to do this here?" Before I can answer, Vanessa storms back in. "Randall's on his way. This is completely inappropriate, Amber. You can't just bring strangers into our home without warning." "Your home?" Lucia's voice could freeze water. "I have the deed right here, if you'd like to verify ownership." Vanessa's face flushes. "We have an arrangement." "Had?" I correct quietly. "We had an arrangement." The front door slams. Randall rushes in, still wearing his office suit. "Mom, what the hell are you doing?" "Selling my house," I say. The words hang in the air like smoke. Randall looks from me to Manuel to Lucia, realization dawning on his face. "You can't," he says, but there's a note of uncertainty in his voice. "Actually," Lucia slides the deed across the table. "She can, and she is." Vanessa grabs Randall's arm. "Do something!" He runs a hand through his hair, his confident facade cracking. "Mum, let's talk about this. Whatever's bothering you, what's bothering me?" I stand up slowly. "Last week, you made me eat alone in the kitchen. On my birthday, in my own house. We had important guests. And now you have an important guest again." I gesture to Manuel. "He's buying the house." Vanessa's voice rises. "You can't just throw us out. We have rights." "As what?" Lucia asks. "Tenants? There's no lease, no rent payments, no legal agreement of any kind." Manuel stands, straightening his jacket. "I can see this is a delicate situation. Ms. Walker, the offer we discussed still stands. Cash, quick close, as is condition." He pulls out an envelope. "The earnest money check is here if you want it." Randall steps forward. "Mum, please, we can work something out. Maybe we could buy it from you instead?" I think about all the times they could have offered that, all the years they lived here for free, slowly pushing me out of my own space. "The price is $350," Manuel says helpfully. $350,000? Vanessa's laugh is brittle. "That's ridiculous. This neighborhood isn't worth..." $3.5 million, Manuel corrects. "The location alone." The room goes silent. Vanessa's mouth opens and closes without sound. I pick up the earnest money check, then look at my son. Really look at him, seeing not the little boy I raised, but the man he's become. "You should start packing. Manuel wants to close in 10 days. 10 days? Vanessa whispers. "Don't worry," I say, echoing her words from so many dismissive texts. "I'm sure you'll find something appropriate for your lifestyle." As I sign the offer papers, I hear Vanessa's muffled sobs from the living room, Randall's attempts to calm her down. Manuel and Lucia exchange contact information, their voices a professional murmur in the background. And me? I sit at my dining room table, no longer banished to the kitchen, and finally feel like I can breathe again. 7 days until closing, and Randall and Vanessa are acting like nothing has changed. The garden party invitations went out yesterday. I know because I saw one at Isla's house. She's their dental hygienist sister-in-law, apparently worthy of an invitation while I'm not. "You should crash it," Isla suggests over lunch. "We're at our new regular spot, a cafe halfway between our houses." "Actually," I stir my coffee, "I have a better idea." The bell above the door chimes, and Lucia walks in, right on time. She joins us with a knowing smile. Everything's set, she says, pulling out some papers. Manuel's money's in escrow, and the sheriff's office confirmed they'll have someone available next Saturday morning, right when your garden party is supposed to start. Isla nearly chokes on her sandwich. You didn't? The timing just worked out that way, I say innocently. Like hell it did. Lucia grins. You specifically asked me to schedule it then. My phone buzzes. It's Randall. Mum, can we talk? Really talk? Now he wants to talk. I show them the message. After ignoring me for 3 days. Are you going to meet him? Isla asks. I suppose I should. I text back. Coffee in an hour? The response is immediate. Thank you. The usual place. An hour later, I find Randall already waiting at our local coffee shop. He looks tired, his usual polished appearance slightly rumpled. Mum? He stands when he sees me. Thank you for coming. I sit down without hugging him. You wanted to talk? About the house. He glances around, lowers his voice. You can't really be serious about this. Why not? Because, he spreads his hands. It's our home. My home, I correct him. The one you were supposed to stay in temporarily 5 years ago. We can pay rent, he offers quickly. Whatever you think is fair. I take a sip of my coffee. Like you offered to do for the past 5 years. He has the grace to look embarrassed. We should have. I know that now. But Mum, this garden party, we have important people coming. Vanessa's boss, potential clients, and you still haven't invited me. That's not... He shifts uncomfortably. It's complicated. No, it's not. I set down my cup. You're embarrassed by me. You and Vanessa, both. That's not true. Really? Then why did I eat alone in the kitchen on my birthday? He doesn't have an answer for that. The house sells next Saturday, I say. During your party. His face pales. You can't. I can. I did. And do you want to know the worst part? I lean forward. If you had just treated me with basic respect, if you had just acted like I was your mother instead of some inconvenient stranger, I would have given you that house eventually. Mum, but you couldn't even let me eat at my own dining room table. My phone buzzes. It's Vanessa. The caterers need the house code for Saturday. Also, please don't drop by this week. We're very busy preparing. I show Randall the message. He closes his eyes. I'll talk to her, he says. Don't bother. I stand up. But you might want to cancel those caterers. I don't think Manuel will appreciate party guests when he takes possession. Manuel? The buyer? He's taking possession on Saturday. Right around 10 a.m. I pick up my purse. Perfect weather for a garden party, don't you think? Back at Ila's house later, I find her and Lucia waiting on the porch. How did it go? Isla asks. About as well as you'd expect. I sink into the porch swing. He offered to pay rent. 5 years too late, Lucia snorts. You know what's funny, I say. Part of me still feels guilty, like I'm the bad guy here. That's because you're a good person. Ila hands me a glass of wine. But being good doesn't mean being a doormat. Speaking of doormats, Lucia checks her phone. Manuel's lawyer just sent over the final paperwork. Everything's ready for Saturday. I think about Vanessa's message, about her casual dismissal of my existence even now, about Randall's too late offers and missing apologies. Are you ready for this? Isla asks softly. I take a sip of wine, remembering all the dinners I wasn't invited to, all the times they made me feel small in my own home. You know what? I am. I raise my glass. To Karma. To Karma, they echo. Somewhere across town, my son and his wife are planning their perfect garden party, blissfully unaware that their borrowed time is running out. In 5 days, they'll learn what it feels like to be the ones asked to leave. And me? I'll be right here, finally feeling the weight of invisibility lifting from my shoulders. Saturday morning dawns bright and clear, perfect weather for a garden party or an eviction. I park down the street at 9:30 a.m, watching caterers unload their van. Vanessa directs them with sharp gestures, pointing to where everything should go. My phone buzzes. Lucia. Manuel and the sheriff are 5 minutes out. Ready? Ready, I text back. I step out of my car just as Randall emerges from the house, carrying a tray of champagne flutes. He freezes when he sees me. Mom? What are you doing here? I thought I'd stop by, I say pleasantly. Beautiful day for a party. Vanessa spots me and hurries over, her heels clicking on the driveway. Amber, I specifically asked you not to come today. We have guests arriving in less than an hour. So do I. As if on cue, a black SUV pulls up, followed by a police cruiser. Manuel steps out, briefcase in hand. The sheriff, a woman in her 40s, follows. Vanessa's face drains of colour. No, you wouldn't. I told you the closing was today, I say. But the party... She looks frantically at the caterers still unloading their van. We have 30 people coming. Then you should start calling them, the sheriff says, approaching with her clipboard. I have an order here to ensure vacant possession of this property by noon. Randall drops the tray. Champagne flutes shatter across the driveway, drawing stares from the neighbours who have begun to gather. Mum, he grabs my arm. Please, we can work something out. I gently remove his hand. We could have worked something out months ago, years ago, but you made your choices. Mrs. Walker? One of the caterers calls out nervously. Should we continue setting up? Actually, Manuel steps forward. I'm the new owner, and no, you shouldn't. Vanessa starts crying, mascara running down her cheeks. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. A car turns into the driveway, their first guests arriving early. It's Vanessa's boss, looking confused at the scene before her. Vanessa? What's going on? Margaret. Vanessa tries to compose herself. There's been a slight complication. They're being evicted, I say clearly. The house has been sold. Margaret's eyebrows shoot up. Evicted? But I thought this was your house. They let everyone think that, I say. Just like they let everyone think I was the intrusive mother who couldn't let go, instead of the owner who gave them a free place to live. More cars are arriving now. Guests in party clothes step out to witness the unfolding drama. The sheriff begins posting notices on the door. You have 2 hours to remove essential belongings, she announces. The rest can be collected Monday under supervision. Randall seems to collapse in on himself. Where are we supposed to go? Perhaps, I say, echoing Vanessa's words from so many dismissive conversations. You should have thought about that before. I can recommend some good hotels, Manuel offers, not unkindly, and storage facilities for your furniture. Vanessa turns on me, mascara-stained tears forgotten in her rage. You planned this. You waited for the party on purpose. Yes, I admit. I did. Consider it karma for all the parties you didn't invite me to, in my own house. The gathered crowd murmurs. I spot Vanessa's sister filming with her phone. This will be all over social media by dinner time. You can't just throw us out. Randall tries one last time. Actually, the sheriff steps forward. That's exactly what's happening. Start packing, or I'll have to insist. I watch as reality finally sets in. Vanessa runs inside, sobbing. Randall follows, apologising to their guests as he goes. The caterers begin reloading their van, and the party guests slowly return to their cars. This afternoon's entertainment clearly cancelled. Manuel touches my arm. Ms. Walker, would you like to do a final walkthrough before I take possession? I look at the house, my house, for just a few more minutes. Through the windows, I can see Randall and Vanessa throwing clothes into suitcases, their perfect world crumbling around them. No, I say. I've seen everything I need to see. As I turn to leave, Margaret calls out, They told everyone they inherited this house, that you were just difficult. I stop and face Vanessa's boss. And now you know the truth. Walking back to my car, I hear the sheriff directing operations, Manuel discussing logistics with his team, and the unmistakable sound of justice being served. My phone buzzes with a message from Isla. Is it done? I look back one last time at the house where I lost my son but found my strength. Yes, I text back. It's done. The aftermath explodes across social media faster than I expected. Vanessa's sister's video goes viral, and suddenly my quiet revenge is trending locally. I turn off my phone after the third news outlet tries to contact me. A week later, I'm having coffee with Lucia when Randall walks into the cafe. He looks different, rumpled, unshaven, wearing jeans instead of his usual suit. He spots us and freezes. Mum. Lucia starts gathering her papers. I'll give you 2 a minute. No, I say, touching her arm. Stay. Randall shifts uncomfortably. Can we talk? Please? Sit. I gesture to the empty chair. He does, looking like a schoolboy called to the principal's office. Where's Vanessa? I ask. Staying with her sister. He stares into the distance. We're taking some time apart. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? His voice cracks. You destroyed our lives, Mum. We're living out of suitcases. Vanessa's boss put her on leave. Everyone's seen that video. The video where the truth came out? Lucia interjects. Where everyone learned you'd been lying about owning the house. He flinches. We never exactly said. You never exactly told the truth either, I cut in. Just like you never exactly invited me to parties, never exactly offered to pay rent, never exactly treated me like your mother instead of an inconvenience. I know. He runs his hands through his unkempt hair. I know we messed up. But did you have to do it like that? In front of everyone? Like you humiliated me in front of everyone, making me eat alone in the kitchen on my birthday? The barista brings his coffee. He wraps his hands around the cup, but doesn't drink. We're staying at the Holiday Inn, he says quietly. Vanessa cries every night. Her social media followers are calling her a fraud. Her influencer contracts are being cancelled. Actions have consequences, Lucia says, but I hold up my hand. What did you expect, Randall? That you could treat me like nothing forever? That I'd just fade away? No, He swallows hard. I don't know what I expected. We got comfortable, entitled, and then it was easier to keep you at arm's length than to face what we were doing. A notification pops up on his phone. Another social media comment. He turns it face down. The worst part, he continues, is that everyone keeps asking why we didn't just buy the house from you, or pay rent, or anything, and I don't have an answer. There is no good answer, I say. That's why it hurts. He looks up, and for a moment I see my little boy in his eyes. I'm sorry, Mum. I know it's too late, but I'm so sorry. It is too late. I know. He stands up slowly. For what it's worth, Vanessa's sorry too. She can't face anyone right now. Tell her I understand about consequences, I say. I lived with them for 5 years, every time you pushed me further away. He nods, looking defeated. Can I call you sometime? You could always call me, Randall. You chose not to. He turns to leave, then stops. The house looks different. Manuel's already renovating. It's his house now? Yeah. He gives a bitter laugh. Funny how you don't know what you had until it's gone. After he leaves, Lucia squeezes my hand. You okay? I watch through the window as Randall walks to his car. Not the sleek BMW he used to park in my driveway, but an old Honda. Actions and consequences. You know what's strange? I say. Part of me wanted him to fight harder just now, to really understand what he did wrong. He understands, Lucia says. He just doesn't know how to fix it. My phone buzzes. A text from Isla. Saw Randall's car outside the cafe. Need backup? No, I text back. Some things you have to face alone. When I look up, Lucia is studying me. What now? Now? I think about Manuel's generous check sitting in my account, about the freedom to choose what comes next. Now, I start over, without the weight of a house I gave away or a son who forgot how to love me. And Randall? I watch his car pull away, carrying my only child toward his new, humbled life. He'll start over too. We all will. To new beginnings, Lucia raises her coffee cup. I clink my cup against hers, thinking about karma and consequences, about love and loss, about the price of finding your strength in the ruins of what you thought was family. To new beginnings, I echo, and to finally being visible. Are you sure about this place? Isla asks, helping me carry the last box into my new condo. It's smaller than what you're used to. That's the point. I set the box down and walk to the balcony, sliding the door open to let in the ocean breeze. No extra space for anyone else to claim. The doorbell rings. Lucia arriving with takeout? We settle around my new kitchen island, the sunset painting the walls, orange through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Manuel sent this. Lucia hands me an envelope. He found it behind some drywall during renovations. Inside is a faded photograph of me holding baby Randall, both of us laughing at something off camera. I remember that day. We'd just moved into the house, full of dreams about the future. You should keep it, Isla suggests. No. I slide it back into the envelope. That chapter's closed. My phone lights up with a text. Randall. Signed the lease on a small apartment today. Vanessa's moving back in with her parents. I understand if you don't want to answer, but I miss you, Mum. Lucia reads it over my shoulder. Are you going to respond? Before I can answer, another text arrives. I know I can't fix what I broke, but maybe we can try to build something new. Coffee sometime. Build something new, Isla echoes. That's rich, coming from him. Actually, I say slowly, maybe that's exactly what needs to happen. I type back, coffee next week, but this time we meet as equals. His response is immediate. Thank you. I promise to listen this time. You're giving him another chance? Lucia sounds skeptical. No. I put my phone down. I'm giving myself another chance to have a relationship with my son on my terms, not his. Isla raises her glass. To terms and conditions. We laugh, and for the first time in years, it feels genuine. The ocean whispers beyond my balcony, promising new horizons. Oh! Lucia remembers something, digging in her briefcase. The closing statement from the sale. You never looked at the final numbers. I open the envelope and my eyes widen. After paying off the original mortgage and taxes, I'm left with significantly more than I expected. That's freedom money, Isla says. What are you going to do with it? Live. I walk to the balcony, my sister and friend following. Travel. Write that children's book I always talked about. Stop waiting for permission to exist in my own life. Speaking of permission, Lucia checks her phone. Manuel says Vanessa tried to contact him about buying back the house. I snort. With what money? Exactly. He told her it's not for sale at any price. The sun dips lower, turning the waves to liquid gold. Below, beachgoers pack up their umbrellas, heading home to their own stories, their own truths. You know what I realized? I lean against the railing. All those years in that house, I was waiting for Randall to appreciate me, for Vanessa to accept me, for things to go back to how they were. And now? Isla asks. Now I'm done waiting. If Randall wants to rebuild, he can meet me where I am. If he doesn't, I shrug. I'll still be here, living my life. My phone buzzes again. A social media notification. Vanessa's posted for the first time since the eviction, learning hard lessons about gratitude, truth, and consequences. To those I hurt and misled, especially my mother-in-law, I'm sorry. Too little, too late? Lucia asks. Maybe. I close the app. Or maybe it's exactly on time, for her own growth, if nothing else. The first stars appear as darkness creeps in. Ela wraps an arm around my shoulders, and Lucia tops off our glasses. Below, a child's laugh carries up on the breeze, reminding me of another laugh, captured in an old photograph now sealed away in an envelope. To karma, Ela raises her glass. To consequences, Lucia adds. I look out at the darkening ocean, thinking about houses and homes, about power and peace, about the quiet strength it takes to stand alone. To visibility, I say, and to finally being seen. We clink glasses as the last light fades. Tomorrow I'll meet with a publisher about my children's book idea. Next week I'll have coffee with my son, not the son who banished me to the kitchen, but the one who might be ready to truly see me. And every day in between, I'll stand on this balcony, watching the waves, and knowing that sometimes you have to lose a house to find your home. They made me invisible. I showed them I could move mountains. But in the end, the greatest victory wasn't in the revenge, it was in finally, truly choosing myself.
The sound of crystal glasses clinking and pretentious laughter drifted up from my restaurant's